I've always wanted to do something to celebrate the ancestry, my heritage, my Italian-American heritage.
It's not really just a relationship or partnership. This is family. Mike is family.
With the help of GrapeStars, we've been able to have people feel better at home with a nice TRUE Vodka.
You're listening to GrapeStars, the podcast, your home for celebrity wine and spirits. And look at us already, John, just super smiley. How are you today?
I have a baseball right now in my hand. You know why?
What is it?
Today we have a show, and it's going to be an amazing one because we're having the one and only, the legendary baseball player.
Hold on. You already got me excited. But we have to get our listeners excited, John. We, as usual, have a surprise for you guys. So if you watched our first episode, you saw at the end of the show, we give something away. Sometimes it'll be alcohol, sometimes it'll be bigger stuff, but we don't want to tell you too much. But John, can you give me a little bit of a hint of what we're giving away at the end of the show?
Yeah. I'm going to turn like that. You don't see it, but we're going to give from Italia a vodka.
Okay.
But that's it. I'm not saying
vodka
nothing more.
From Italy.
From
What?
Italy.
How? Vodka from Italy. It's not Russian. It's not Polish. It's from Italy.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I really want to know. So let's get to this interview already. So you can explain a little bit more about this vodka to me. Okay. You were telling me, Hall of Famer?
The best baseball player for me. Okay. Never saw a guy so spectacular than Mike Piazza. We're receiving today the one and only New York Mets, Los Angeles Dodgers, one of the best catcher of the history of Major League Baseball, Mike Piazza, and he's launching on GrapeStars his new vodka called TRUE Vodka with some Italian friends, and it's going to be an amazing podcast. I'm so excited as a fan, as a young kid right now. Let's do it.
Do you want to know why I'm excited, John? I'm excited because I live in San Diego. I don't know if you knew, he played for the Padres for 1 year, but he played for the Padres. And actually part of the GrapeStars team, our editor was there when he actually hit his first home run as a Padre. And we're all super excited. I mean, you got the East Coast, you got him over there, and we had him over here. And now he's in Italy. Italy took him away from us, but we're going to have him for just a little second here from Italy. So let's welcome him.
Knock the cover off the ball, tape it up. This one hit to left field. And Martinez back, and Mike Piazza has his first home run as a Met. 4-1 Pittsburgh. Finally catching up to that inside fastball from Schmidt.
A big-time fly ball to left field.
Thank you both for joining us today all the way from Italy. It's really exciting to have you here.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very
So
much.
excited about this project.
You know, we're really excited. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Vinny, for joining us. I'm sure a lot of fans are watching right now, a lot of fans of yours, Mike, and they might know some of the backstory. But for those people that are, barely learning about TRUE Vodka, what it is, what happened here, tell us about this partnership. How did you guys meet? Vinny, were you his fan? How did you guys meet each other?
How could you not be Mike's fan? I grew up in downtown Manhattan, New York City. Mike was a household name to all of us, and from my father to my kids to me, that's all we talk about. Mike was great, from his first home run in 1998 until when he hit the home run after 9/11, which, I still live there, very close to the World Trade Center. So you can never forget.
I'm sure you think about that often. I do want to cover that a little later on the show with, 9/11 coming up. But, Mike, you guys, so Vinny was your fan. How did this partnership happen?
Well, I think basically we had a very close mutual friend. And when I basically the last few years of my life, I moved my family to Italy. I've always been very proud of my Italian roots, and I've always wanted to do something to celebrate the ancestry, my heritage, my Italian American heritage. And as we know, Italy is a epicenter for food and wine and other culinary and gastronomic delicacies. And ultimately, I wanted to do a project, but I wanted to do something that was unique. And I think as we all enjoy our lives and enjoy spirits throughout the evolution of our lives, I think we become more refined. There you go. And, I think at the end of the day, I thought an Italian vodka was something unique when I heard the idea. And I thought it was something that was totally unique, taking the best crafted practices of Italian spirit making and introducing a bespoke, very, very high quality, amazing tasting vodka, because I think that's something we can all enjoy. And I think it's a very flexible drink, and it's something that people from all over the world enjoy. And so the fact that it was an Italian crafted vodka, I thought was totally unique and very special. And then when I found out Vinny was doing this project, I thought, I wanted to be a part of it.
It's really interesting that you mentioned your Italian roots. We all know you're very proud of your Italian roots. And a lot of people, when they think of vodka, they think Polish, they think Russian, they don't think Italian. But please tell us a little bit more of how does the region add to the quality of this vodka?
Well, I think generally everyone knows the amount of quality and the craftsmanship that goes into Italian spirit making, from wine to dessert wine to grappa to other refined spirits, limoncello. People enjoy that in the South. But I think vodka is something, as you get older and you become a little bit more sophisticated, you want something, I think, that is a little, let's be honest, less caloric, something that we can enjoy, that is a flexible beverage, but also tastes very great alone. And when I tasted it again, really, this doesn't get done if you don't taste it and you don't like it. So, ultimately it has to come down for me. If I'm going to put my name in and endorse something and become part of a project, I have to enjoy it. So for me, it was a natural because it tastes so amazing.
I completely agree. And we really appreciate that honesty. And speaking of honesty, the name itself, I'm shocked it wasn't taken. TRUE Vodka. Wouldn't you think any vodka company would want to have this name? It's literally telling you this is a real deal. It's TRUE Vodka. How did the name come about?
The name came about by pretty much everything that we lived by, everything we learned growing up. We were always true to family, true to friends, true to who we are, and that's what, we were taught as kids growing up in an Italian family. And this whole brand is built on that. It's being true to each other. And we've put together an amazing, amazing team. And it's not really just a relationship or a partnership. This is family. Mike is family. Charlie's family. Another friend, Mike, that's involved in it, and our kids, they're the ones that are really running this whole project. They're the ones that this is for. So to see our kids working together and being together as a family, that's what TRUE is all about. True family, true to yourself, and TRUE Vodka.
John, I know that's something that you
Yes.
highlight.
I want to say something. I lost my father 6 months ago, and he raised us, the three boys in Montreal, Canada, with so much love with our mom. And family is everything in life. Everything. It's, I know when you were coming to Montreal, we were not that rich when we were young. We were buying these tickets and going to see you. And I was laughing about you because you had your long hair and you were...
I got to bring it back now.
Yeah. And you've been, you always been an amazing baseball player, but your personality, and I know one of your characteristic that everybody talk about is that you're truly a family man. You've got 3 kids. You're with your wife since the beginning. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that, Michael.
Well, my father, as Vinny was mentioning, I think we're at a point in life when we want to do a project, first off, we want to do something with people we enjoy being around, people whose company we enjoy. And the natural progression of that is to share a meal and share a drink and tell stories and enjoy the time together. And I think this is so special because, again, you know, I've been in Italy now for about 2 years, and I've seen a lot of interesting projects, but this was the first sort of project that I really wanted to get involved in because I thought it was so unique and special. And it comes down to the people, because you want to do things with people you enjoy. And, you know, for me, again, as I've mentioned many times, I think the Italian-American experience, and even in Canada, people know there's a lot of Italians in Toronto, there's a lot of Italians in Montreal, and we really enjoy embracing everything that America is. I think the Italian Americans, Italian Canadians are the best citizens because we celebrate our heritage, we're proud of our heritage, but we embrace everything that is America and coming to a new world and bringing all of our best practices and wanting to contribute and wanting to build something. So I think it's so special and something that look, at this point in our lives, we can do pretty much anything we want, but we want to do things we enjoy and we want to be with people we enjoy.
That's beautiful.
That is a beautiful message. We really appreciate it because, you know, I get to learn from you guys. I know that family is important. I come from a Latino family, but half of my family is German immigrants, like you said, you know, came to the U.S. and assimilated to the traditions, but also kept some of the culture in there. And I think it's beautiful. Now you're back in Italy, though. And, you know, we've been talking about the vodka, but now let's talk a little bit about some news that Jean is very excited about. I'm very excited about is now you're part of the star team. You're part of GrapeStars. What made you want to sign on?
Well, I think the vehicle is so unique, and I think that he's done an amazing job of incorporating it. You can have the most amazing beverage in the world, but if you can't get it to people, it's not going to do well. People aren't going to be able to enjoy it. And I think that's what so many artists and athletes wanted to do. It's like, okay, usually you would have to do the traditional route. Well, you have to get a lot of exposure with a big distributor. Now you can do like boutique, bespoke projects, and people can still find out about it with the incredible web that is social media. And you're seeing big projects, small projects, medium projects. But at the end of the day, if someone is a fan of me and I say, hey, I'm really in this cool boutique, bespoke vodka project, they can find it, whether he's in St. Louis or Los Angeles or New York or Florida. So I think that's why this is such an amazing project. And because, look, at the end of the day, we all drink a lot of things and we all like to try different things. And this just gives you so many options, but also if you enjoy something, it can give you access to something that maybe in markets they couldn't always get to.
I agree. I'm going to perk up Jean's ears a little bit here now because he's about to get really excited. We're going to talk some baseball.
Yes.
Okay, Jean, it's here. I know Jean only wanted to talk about baseball. I'm like, Jean, come on. We got to talk about the amazing drinks. He's such a big fan. You know, what is that, a baseball over there? What's happening?
Yes, but I want to go back.
I want
to go back to a story. So when I was a kid, my dad made a good deal and became rich. So we moved to Mont Royal, and it was very nice places. And I didn't speak English at this time. I was only speaking French. So I played for the team, and the coach was Bill Rotary. And Bill was the director of Sony Music Canada, but he was also next pitcher from the Atlanta Brave. And Bill was the first one to sign Celine Dion in English. He's the one who launched Celine in America. But he invited us to Cooperstown, and we play over there, you know. And I had a lot of curly hair, and I hit a home run, and I was so emotional because I felt before they give us a tour to teach us a bit the story of Cooperstown. And just when you go to the restroom, it's written color and white, and during the segregation. And I want to say something that really touched me. when you did your speech at Cooperstown, it was one of the most beautiful, honest, powerful, you know, your speech was phenomenal. And I want to congratulate you, not only for your career, but exactly the kind of person you are. And that really touched me. And I was talking with Kamal from Out Living Magazine about the same thing. And both we were agreeing, you really touch everybody when you spoke at the Hall of Fame. How did you felt?
Well, you know, you made an interesting point about the Negro Leagues. And if people remember that Jackie Robinson played for the Brooklyn Dodgers, but, you know, his first team was the Montreal Royale back in the International League, which used to be the AAA team for the Brooklyn Dodgers. So I love the history of the Negro Leagues. I've always been a huge fan. I've been very involved with promoting of the Negro Leagues Museum and the history of what we go through. The struggle of that is the U.S., the history, all these struggles and trials and tribulations that we went through. But as far as the speech, you know, it was funny. Someone just said a true speech, a really good speech is one that's spoken from the heart, not from the lips. And you don't go into the Hall of Fame alone. You don't build a project alone. It has to come, number one, from my mom and dad, from support from my brothers. You know, my mom, I made a comment, you know, she was there washing the uniform. She didn't really teach me how to hit, but she was washing the uniform, driving me to practice, picking me up. My dad, obviously, when he was working to support the family, but he was there pitching to me all the time. My coaches have, if you don't have people that believe in you and are able to motivate you and push you and sometimes kick you in the butt, but also be able to put an arm around you, you're not going to be anything. And so for me, it's the amount of people in my life. So when that flowed out, it was just natural. And you realize it's not all you, it's God first, your family, and people have to help you out. You don't get there alone. I'm sure everyone could attest to that.
That's beautiful.
No, I couldn't have put it better. That's a beautiful way to express yourself. It almost made me emotional because, you know, I think a lot of us can relate to that, how much we really should value our parents and how much they've done to get us to where we are right now. And
it's true.
It's true. We talk about emotion, but we're all human other than business. And you know, a couple of months ago, Lily posts a picture of her father. You lost your father a couple of years ago, Lily, no?
Yes, and you know what? Every time you keep saying it's true, I swear, this is all true. This whole chat, I love it. It's just so honest. It's beautiful because, like you said, you can really tell when someone is speaking from the heart, and we really do appreciate it. It's a beautiful moment that we're able to experience with you guys here. We're all international here. You know, we got a mix of everything, but it's beautiful. We can all come together during these times. And you know, speaking a little bit more about baseball, at the time that you were signed, it was the largest baseball deal in history. But you've continued. That wasn't the biggest highlight. You're an entrepreneur. So how do you feel? I know I've watched so many interviews of people speaking about you, and they always mention your hard work, which gives me hope because I'm a hard worker. And they always say that's something they can always attest to, is you are such a hard worker. How do you feel baseball prepared you to be the entrepreneur that you are today?
Oh, that's a great question. Baseball, it's been said, is a metaphor for life. You don't, and we say in baseball, if you get 3 hits out of 10, you're a superstar. You're going to fail 7 out of 10 times. In business, maybe we could take the formula and put it a little bit less in the failure realm. But I think ultimately, if you don't get out of your comfort zone and do something that take risk, you know, my dad always say, you know, bet a hunch, make a bunch. You can't steal second with your foot on first. You're going to have to go out into the water that's deep sometimes, and you're going to have to take risks, whether that be moving to a new city, trying a new job, maybe doing something you never thought you would do, but you have to give it a shot. And you can't be afraid of failure, because I think people who are afraid of failure are afraid of trying. And that's not saying to be reckless or cavalier. You do have to do your homework, do your research, do the practices, best practices. You know, they say practice makes perfect. I say no, perfect practice makes perfect. You could be digging all the way, digging forever and not really have a goal. You have to have goals. You have to have motivation comes from within. And I saw this really great article, an interview actually on John McEnroe one time. He made a great point. He says, when you achieve success, you have to find new ways to motivate yourself to get to a higher level. You never get to this level of like, I made it, I have nothing else to do. True people who are entrepreneurs and motivators and people that want to do things, they have to keep striving. They have to keep reaching and looking for new challenges. So that's why I tell people all the time, don't be afraid to fail. Get out there and give it a chance.
Yeah.
And the only shame is not trying.
Listen, if I could say something, I've been an entrepreneur all my life, and my dad always told me, jump, just jump, do it, start something and it's going to come, So, but you pinpoint something super important. Surround yourself with good people, have good coach. And yes, and in business, don't fail too much, okay? Because it's just money.
I had a pitching coach one time, and he used to joke around. He said, when a pitcher gives up a lot of runs, we used to say, get lit up. And he said, it's good to get lit up every now and then. He goes, you'll learn something. He goes, but just don't learn too much.
Just don't learn too much. Before Lily asks you a question, Tommy Lasorda was a very big, he was an important role model for you in your career. And I always loved him. I consider
Montreal
him
Royal, by the way, too.
Sorry?
He was a Montreal Royal for many years as well.
Yes. He was the coach of the United States. He was the coach of the Dodgers in LA for many years. Most of all, he's an amazing man. He's got his own wine, Lasorda.
Sure.
Like Dusty Baker, he has his own wine, and now there's other football player, etc. But Tommy Lasorda, what is he representing for you?
Well, Tommy, to me, is the ultimate motivator, because I don't think anyone's gotten more, and he'll admit this is probably as much as anybody, out of not a lot of talent. I mean, Tommy was probably be like the P.T. Barnum of baseball, was always positive. He had this incredible ability to motivate people, to get people to reach higher than they thought they were capable of doing. And he did it as a scout. He did it as a minor league manager. Obviously, he did it as a major league manager. Arguably, the '88 Dodgers that won the World Series is probably one of the most, what would you say, incredible underdog stories. They beat an amazing Oakland A's team with a team that really wasn't that great. It didn't have a lot of talent. So he had this ability to motivate and get people out of their comfort zone, as we mentioned. So he's a wonderful man. I love him to death. I mean, I know he's he's obviously just turned 90, and life is moving on. And unfortunately, we're losing people that are so special to us.
Yes.
But, his legacy is cemented, no question.
Yes. That's beautiful the way you talk about him. And you're so right. His legacy is forever. Anyway,
well, Mike,
go ahead, Lily.
We can't thank you enough for joining us, and we couldn't speak with you without bringing up what Vinny brought up, which is what you mean to New York. I know Vinny
thank you.
Speak a little bit about that, but the moment that you created for the city was so much bigger than baseball. And maybe Vinny would like to give us a little bit of background of that day. Vinny, were you in New York the day that he played?
I was in New York the day that he played. I was in New York the day that he played. I was in New York the day that the terror attack took place. So I only live 5 blocks away from there, and still do till today. So that game was instrumental for the city. It was instrumental for the country. And Mike hitting that home run is something that everyone remembers. It's not just that New York remembers it. The whole world remembers it. It's amazing. I watch it over and over again still. I'm a huge fan. And every time you watch it, it just gets better. And to come 15 years later to meet Mike and sit across the table from him from an introduction and have lunch with him and talk about the family project and him wanting to be involved. It it's a winner already, True Vodka.
Mm-hmm.
No matter, you know, we know there's going to be really good things, and it's going to be a great product, and it's going to be all over. But what we've accomplished thus far with Mike and Charlie and my other friend, it's more than anyone could hope for.
That's beautiful. You know, Mike, I personally was speaking to one of my friends in New York today, visiting her parents, and they also, everyone, you're just so iconic there. And I know that, you know, 20 years is coming up. It's gone by very quick. In the next year, it'll be 20 years. And I wanted to ask you, you know, we're kind of back in a hard time for New York. New York's had a tough year once again, and it's, you know, a lot of people have reflected about the last time the city felt this way for a lot of them. And unfortunately, it was back in September 11th. So, you know, what would you say to all of those people that, you know, still remember that moment? I can tell you I get chills. I didn't watch it live, but I watched a lot of playbacks of it. And I got teary-eyed. I got chills. I got emotional because I remember being young and the moment happening, and I can imagine what those people felt like. So what would you say to them? They're still looking up to you. They still remember that moment. What would you like to say to these people during these times?
Well, first off, thank you. And I would say that everything we had talked about earlier about faith and family and friendship and love and honor and all the qualities that we celebrate in our families, in our lives. The only reason why I was able to do something like that was because of that, because of the love that I felt from the people closest to me, and then the fans and everyone who was pushing wind under my wings. And I think you mentioned a good point. I mean, New York is going through a tough time now, but I think what is so indicative of the city is the fact that New Yorkers never say die, never stop fighting, never stop reaching. The city has been through dark times, and I think, honestly, in my heart of hearts, we're going to be okay. We're going to work hard. We're going to persevere. We're going to take the precautions we need to take to get back to normal life, because that's all we're trying to do. We want everyone to go back and live life and enjoy the things that we enjoyed before the COVID. And I think ultimately, maybe this is a small lesson to get us to really appreciate how good we had it before. And maybe we should really take some time every day and give thanks to everything we have in our lives, because we are going to beat this. There's no question in my mind. This definitely was a tough time, and it was frustrating, and a lot of people are hurting, and we're praying for them. And I know life is going to get better, because that's what we do as Americans. That's what we do as humans. We're going to turn it around, and we're going to be okay. Not without a lot of work, with a lot of sacrifice, and it's going to take some time. But I think it's indicative of the city. And if I didn't have that love and support from the people, it wouldn't have been possible.
I agree. And you know what? I think it's a beautiful message, and it's a beautiful way to end our chat. And I also want to thank you, because you know, it's a hard time right now, and a lot of people are going through hard times, but I'm sure that your message is going to mean a lot to them when they hear those words coming from you. A lot of people just, you know, you mean so much to them. I'm sure all these years later, with it coming up in you know, just a couple weeks here, it'll be a big message.
And I know with the help of GrapeStars, we've been able to have people feel better at home with a nice TRUE Vodka, specially made bespoke Italian vodka they can enjoy at home. And I think, to honestly, I think GrapeStars has helped a lot of people get through this. So just sit at home and have a drink. And my dad used to say, have a drink and everything's going to be okay.
Let me say something to you, Mike. I've got your bottle in my hand, and you're not alone in this company. You've got Charlie Turano, you've got Vinny, and some other amazing people. I'm going to ask you something. Let's make a home run of this partnership, okay?
Let's do it.
Let's
a grand
put
slam.
The ball on the other. When I was playing hockey, I was saying top corner, but
there you go.
On the other side of the fence, let's make an amazing success. All the people the last 3 years that I went to see, and I said, hey, believe in GrapeStars, believe in my idea, my vision. I'm sure, you know, more celebrities will have their own alcohol, etc. they would be so honored. All my investors, my advisors, the people who believe in me, to be on this call and have the opportunity to have you with us. It's such an opportunity, GrapeStars, but it's such a beautiful moment for me as a fan, as a 50-year-old man, okay, on this planet, who always trying to achieve his best, not for me, for my family. The rest, not important. Thank you. Thank you for joining forces with GrapeStars. Soon, we'll take the plane. We'll go to the distillery in Italy. We'll have fun. I'll bring my kids, okay? And
awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Merci, grazie, and tutte saluti.
Sì.
Cheers to
Amore
you
mio.
guys. And Vinny, happy 21st birthday to your daughter. I hope you guys enjoy some True Vodka today.
Yes.
Tanto auguri.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. God bless everyone.
Oh my God, John. Can you believe it? I mean, the team of True Vodka, those are true number one people. You saw the number one baseball player. You saw Vinny. I mean, his number one is his family. I thought that was beautiful. I mean, he was able to join us on his daughter's birthday. Wasn't it beautiful that they took this time out of their day? You know, I wasn't as fortunate as you were to be able to go see them, see him play live, or really experience, you know, what he was in his time. But now I'm able to experience what True Vodka is. So it's really cool. How did you feel about it?
Listen, as a fan of baseball, as a fan of Mike Piazza, and more than that, you know, these Italian people, they have this in their blood. They're good people and they're smart entrepreneurs. So to have the people of True Vodka today for GrapeStars, it's a blessing. We're so excited to have them on our app, and we're going to launch this promotion together. And there's so many things that they didn't want to stop talking. We could have talked for an hour and more and more.
And I could have kept listening. Honestly, a lot of the time I was learning. I felt like I was getting a lot of wisdom from Mike. I felt like he really opened up to us. I really like when, you know, you mentioned the speech that he gave, and I felt like that really drew him in. And it was something that maybe he hadn't talked about as much. I felt like I learned a lot that I didn't know he was really involved with at the time. Yeah,
living in Miami and knowing that he lived in Miami, but now he's in Italy. The reputation of Mike Piazza is a family man. That's what people say, you know, and he married a beautiful and super smart woman also. I think it's Alicia, her name. They have 3 kids. And other than the entrepreneurship journey, which is a very successful one with his family, and he's got car retailers. How do you call that in English? Car, say it.
Dealerships. It's dealerships.
Yeah, dealership, exactly. So very successful. But the person, my God, what a beautiful human being. And I'm honored as the CEO of GrapeStars.
He was a little bit quieter, you know, but we felt his spirit. We saw his flag. He was representing. So even though he wasn't in Italy, I felt like, you know, he was bringing that Italian spirit to us.
Yeah. And you know what I would like to do now? Because it's the end of the show, I would like to give 1 bottle to the people who follow us, who watch us, who's listening to us on our podcast. True Vodka. Go at info@grapestars.com and give us a screenshot of who you are, okay? And let's go. I'm going to send you this vodka directly to your house with our GrapeStars app. What do you think? Is it a good deal?
I love it. And anyone who's listening to this, I mean, have you tried an Italian vodka? You had me so confused at the beginning of the show. I was like, what's going on? But after Mike explained it, I feel like everyone should be trying this. And it comes from such an honest person. I'm sure there's a little bit of love in each bottle too. And you'll feel it when you're drinking that.
I love it. I love it. What a great show again. I want to thank you. My God. Are we ready now to pass to the other stars? I just finished a call with the people who are representing the bourbon of NFL player, one of the best in the history, Terry Bradshaw. So soon we're gonna have
only Terry Bradshaw. All of you Sex and the City watchers, anyone in New York, we did not say Carrie, not with a K, not Carrie Bradshaw. We said T. Terry
Yes.
Bradshaw, the one and
Yes.
only. That's going to be a treat. That's really exciting.
We should have Sarah Jessica Parker on the show, but
Exactly.
surprise.
She's got her own. We're just going to tease all of you guys. We're just throwing all these names out. You need to keep watching because, God willing, we're going to have all of these people on. But for sure, we'll have Terry. And he has a lot of fans. So you guys all need to watch. If you don't know him, you'll know his alcohol. You'll know his... So make sure you tune into our next episode. And cheers.
Love it.